184. It's a decent score by the Kings 11 Punjab after Ajinkya Rahane won the toss and put the opposition in. They had to rely on Chris Gayle, who started slowly in Chris Gayle fashion and then caught up in Chris Gayle fashion. 79 of 47, 8 fours, 4 sixes for the big Jamaican. And Sarfaraz Khan picked ahead of Karun Nair in this game. 46 not out of 29 balls to give them that flourish towards the end. On ESPN Cricinfo Matchday T20, I'm Rana Kapoor, waiting to hear from all of you. So start sending your questions through to Brad Hodge and Deep Das Gupta. Hodgie, which dressing room would you rather be in right now? 184 after the first 20.
I think Kings 11 have done a good job, actually. I mean, that's a really good total. First game of the year. I think they played particularly well.
I thought at one point, Deep, that they weren't looking like they're going to get past 160 or so. And the way they started, you knew Chris Gayle in the middle was going to be key.
Yeah, I mean, the first 6 was about 30 odd for 1, which isn't the start that you'd want. But that's Chris Gayle. That's what he's been doing last few years. He starts off easy, and then once he gets going, he does get going. And today was no different. So yeah, 184, that's a good, I mean, the most importantly, Sarfaraz. I mean, that was a very, very good knock from him. He's been out of favour for the last couple of years, but then what a start to the tournament for him.
Okay, start sending us your questions. I'll put them through to Brad and Deep. Syed Anas says, why would you send Sarfaraz and Puran ahead of Karan? Okay, so you don't quite think Sarfaraz has done enough. Hodgie, did they get their batting order right?
Yeah, I think so. I mean, I'm not sure. I haven't seen a lot of Karan actually down the order, but it's difficult when you come into a first tournament. You know, Mandeep's done it before. He did it actually, batted deep for RCB last year. So, yeah, that's the role that they need him to play. So you've got to give him opportunity for success.
Tausif Khan says, nice batting by Sarfaraz. Good beginnings for Sarfaraz to start with.
Massive, massive. Like I said, I mean, a lot of negativity around him the last couple of years. But I mean, what a way to start. But just going back to what Hodgie had mentioned before, it's very important. I mean, we talk about a player based on what we've seen a month ago, maybe a couple of months ago. But training becomes very, very important. When you're looking at someone in the nets for 2-3 days, you suddenly see somebody looking good. You have that gut feeling as a captain, as a support staff, you know, this guy should go in and play because he's looking good. So a lot of that depends on training sessions, how a batsman is looking or a bowler is looking in the nets.
All right, Ankit Kumar says they should have played Ty and Miller given the pitch. Actually, both were unavailable. So they've not made it to the team yet. Miller's still on international duty. Ty as well, not available for this game. So that's why they've not picked him. Crispin Gerrard, frustrating it might be for bowlers while they bowl to Gayle. They do the hard work, but Gayle just smothers them everywhere without even moving. Okay, Hodgie?
Look, he's one of the best T20 players in the world, and that's why he's there. I mean, you know, 79 runs, striking at 168, and it looked like he didn't even get out of first gear today. So, I mean, when you look back at Chris Gayle across all forms of cricket, you have to think that he's one of the best cricketers ever to play our game. Yeah. I mean, 100 test matches, scored 300 in one of them, and a great one-day player, and probably the best T20 we've ever seen. So, I mean, that's why he's got paid the big bucks for a number of years. He's a tremendous performer.
Okay, Crispin Gerrard says, unusual from Agarwal. He usually strikes better. Maybe the test role has got the better of him. Now, I think the Mayank Agarwal innings needs to be looked at with a little bit of sympathy, because you observed, Hodgie, how that partnership was panning out with Chris Gayle early in the power play.
Yeah, it's difficult. I mean, Chris, you try and feed the strike to because you think that he's actually going to try and whack it, but he actually doesn't whack it. And when you try and feed the strike to him, he doesn't run for your singles. So it's a real tough one for Mayank Agarwal, who probably would have finished with 27 off 24, and it doesn't look as bad. But he'll have to look at that, because when you think that he's played well and he's got 22, and you look at the strike rate, if you get a couple of low failures, then your performance comes under scrutiny. Yeah. So it's a tough one. It's a hard school, but yeah, he'll have to try and get that strike rate up in the power play.
Ganesh Venkatraman says, is the price tag pressure weighing in on Unadkat again? One more from Satish Swaminathan. Unadkat still hasn't learned from last year's IPL. Want to know Deep's thoughts. Deep?
Listen, I saw him in the domestic circuit. He was bowling well. But today what I saw was a few tactical issues. Something like when Chris Gayle is out there, you don't go over the wicket, you go around the wicket, because one of the biggest strength of a left-arm seamer is the angle that he bowls. I mean, if you're bowling over the wicket, everything coming into Chris Gayle, that's easy for him.
Yeah.
You know, and he's not rapid. He's not 140, 40 plus. He bowls around 130, 35. So things like that. I mean, for Mayank as well. I mean, Mayank hit him for a 6, and he came round the wicket for Mayank Agarwal. So you know, things like that. I mean, it's not that he bowled poorly, but it's just that those things matter a lot, especially in T20 cricket.
Vincent George Bryan wants to know if Chris Gayle's good form can be carried forward to the World Cup. It almost seems like, Haji, since he's announced he's going to quit one-day cricket, he's giving it one last push. Crazy series against England, may just have a great IPL. One of those that just likes to go out in style. You think, drop the mic?
I mean, you never know. He might see this one and have a good one, and then see him in a couple more years. He just seems to be unstoppable at the moment. He's in good touch, and he looks pretty fit as well. So that's important.
Jason Kunli, looking at the score now, where should Steve Smith and Ben Stokes respectively bat? Right, both of you can have a crack at this now that you know how much they need to get. This is a slightly tall order, 180 odd.
Yeah, I don't know. It's a tough one because I guess a lot depends on the opening pair. I mean, how far they go, depending on that. And I think someone like Steve Smith will have to play a very important role here in terms of, you know, we mentioned that sheet anchor thing, but not at striking at 110, but still striking at 120, 25. Then everyone else can rotate around one batsman. That could be either Steve Smith or Ajinkya. I mean, you give those roles to them. You say, like, if Ajinkya is still around, maybe Steve Smith stays back and the others go in front of him. If Ajinkya goes, then Steve comes in and plays that role. So you have one guy who can be there till the 16th, 17th, and everyone else rotate around him.
Just thoughts, Haji, whether a KKR style system might work for a team like Rajasthan. Chris Lynn and Narayan, if it's a big score, maybe send Butler and another attacking batsman. If it's a 150, 140, you can send the usual lot.
Well, Mujib's going to bowl a couple of overs in the power play,
Yes.
isn't he? So this might be one of those ones where you send Gotham out and you know,
Ask
have a
him to
swing.
dunk it early on.
Yeah, I mean, he did it once or twice, I think, in the past. It's just you want to take the pressure off. I think Mujib's dismissed Butler a couple of times, so you want to take that pressure off your best player. So how you do that? If Jinx is comfortable in doing it, he's a good player of spin.
Yeah.
There's no reason why he can't.
Would you want to hold back Butler for any reason, knowing that Mujib's going to start? Would that be at all in your calculations?
I wouldn't. I wouldn't. I'm going to back a guy who's been in top form across all format internationally as well. I'm going to back him and say, listen, go, but be a little careful. I mean, which you expect him to be. That being said, I mean, those 2 overs are going to be very, very crucial. But just quickly, 184 is a very good score. But this is a good pitch. Right, and the dew, I have a feeling, will play a role here.
Okay.
It's not going to be easy for the spinners, especially once, you know, 6-7 overs later. It's not going to be that easy for the bowlers.
Okay, lots of questions on why Varun Chakravarti is not playing. He's not yet fully fit. That's what we got from the Kings 11 camp. That's why he's not playing. There are still questions on why David Miller is not playing. Well, he's still playing for South Africa. The minute he's back and available for contention, that's a call that Kings 11 make. Crispin with a good one. Thoughts on Jofra's spell and a potential English call-up? Haji.
Not potential. I reckon absolutely 100% no doubt. I mean, 4 overs for 17 against the likes of Gayle is a tremendous performance. And yeah, I mean, it's quality fast bowling, isn't it? Yorkers, bumpers, slow balls, top of the stumps. It's very much admirable.
And looking at the English side, I mean, their bowling is their Achilles heel. I mean, they've got gun batsmen. They've got that ability to chase down or put up 300 plus every time they bat. It's their bowling that's let them down. And you have someone like Archer, Jofra Archer there. I mean, that's a huge bonus.
Nikhil Ryan saying Rajasthan are going to miss Turner. They would have needed someone with his finishing skills, and he could possibly play ahead of Steve Smith now, or even Shreyas Gopal. You're saying, considering he bowled 1 over. Well, firstly, Ashton Turner is also not available. There are lots of players who don't make it for the first week of the IPL. So Turner still with the Australia squad, which is why he isn't here either. Ganesh Venkatraman, are Kings a bowler short, given that they don't have that extra bowling option? I'm just going to look at that scorecard and see what you're trying to say. Essentially, they've got Rajput, Mujib, Shami, Ashwin, Curran. Would you like to have seen more options? And Chris Gayle doesn't really bowl anymore, so that's exactly 5.
Well, they've only got 5 options.
Yeah.
So, you know, I mean, that's the thing. You back your best bowlers to do the job, and if it doesn't work, it doesn't work.
It's a big responsibility on a Sam Curran to bowl 4 overs in the first game.
You might just see maybe Chris Gayle bowl a couple. I mean,
don't know how much
he
he's
has
been
bowled
bowling.
a bit of late. I mean, against England, he did bowl a few overs. So if push comes to shove, he might just see him bowl a couple of
Yeah,
overs.
I'm just nervous about their pace attack actually under pressure.
Chris Gayle as a sixth bowling option, is that giving you comfort if you were a Kings 11
I haven't
coach?
seen him roll out. I haven't seen him roll his arm over in a long, long time. So I don't think that'll scare the likes of Steve Smith, Butler, and co.
That it is an ask of Sam Curran, who I think by a long stretch, in the opinions of a lot of experts that have worked with me here, say that his batting's the stronger suit.
Exactly.
And here you have him now, hasn't had a bad first IPL game, picked for good money, and he's probably got to get 4 overs.
He has to.
Yeah.
He has to. I mean, your sixth bowler is always an insurance, but you still would back your 5 bowlers to finish the quota of 4 overs, and it's going to be a big ask because I won't be surprised if you see a lot of hand towels with the players out there.
Satish Swaminathan, how should Rahane approach this chase, Haji?
Slog it. Get out there, take the long handle. For me, I think Jinx should see any
But that's the
pace
thing,
on
Haji, he doesn't come across as a slugger.
Oh,
Can he play that
You've got to
game?
play to your strengths. So any pace on the ball, I look to just give himself a fraction of room, play through the offside. He's brilliant on his pads. Just bring the ball back into his court a little bit.
I mean, sometimes when we see Ajinkya play force those shots, we then say, oh, that's not his game, that's not what he's good at. So I'm not sure if we know what to expect out of Ajinkya Rahane.
Yeah, but what Haji also mentioned was play your orthodox cricketing shots. I mean, you're driving down, you try and pick the gaps. If the length is right, you hit it over the top. You're still playing proper cricketing shots, not just airy-fairy sweeps and stuff like that. And again, I mean, I know Ajinkya, if you look at Ajinkya's record against spin, isn't that great. So his best chances would be taking on the fast bowler. And they've got a few. And they've got few young fast bowlers there. You've got Sam Curran, Ankit Rajput. So I think he should go after, especially the faster bowlers.
Okay, Josh Butler, Ajinkya Rahane have already made their way out, so no surprises as to who Rajasthan would send out to open. I'm assuming Mujib takes the new ball. Who'd you give it to? Who'd you give it the other end? Mohammad Shami for you, the new ball, or Rajput? Or spin from open?
They might give it to Curran, only because it might swing for the first one. Generally, your first over only goes economically about 6 or 7 runs.
Yeah.
So it's generally the lighter over in the power play.
You know, that's a great idea. In fact, just give him the first ball. I mean, the first over itself.
In fact, I think he's been thrown the ball right away.
Yeah, so first
Sam
over is
Curran
generally the easiest kind of an over, and if you want to ease somebody in, I mean, first over, there you go.
Yeah.
Okay, so that's a good thing, giving him the first over.
Yeah,
Ease him in.
absolutely.
Yeah,
All
that's
right.
why you give your part-timer first over as well, generally.
All right, thank you, Brad Hodge. Deep Das Gupta, quick prediction. Rajasthan going to get this, or will Punjab get the points?
Look, unless due, I think Kings will win, but I think it's going to be close. I think their bowling's going to be under pressure.
Yeah, same here. I think Kings will make it, but it's going to be touch and go.
All right, many thanks, gentlemen. We will get their thoughts in detail after this game on ESPN Cricinfo Matchday T20. For now, our attention back to the Savai Man Singh Stadium. Ball-by-ball updates on ESPNcricinfo.com as well as our mobile app.
He looks like a baby.